right, you guys, this is my first recording and we're going to see how it goes. I'm going to try to walk you through one of the first projects in the Photoshop packet, which is to create a geometric pattern in a monochromatic color scheme. So just a reminder, geometric shapes are shapes that can only be created through algorithms. So shapes such as triangles, hexagons, circles, squares, etc. And monochromatic means one hue, so one color, and then all of the shades, the tints and shades, so all of the lights and darks, which is called value of that one color scheme, okay? So that's a monochromatic color scheme. And then we're going to create a pattern, which is going to take these geometric shapes and repeat them over and over again. And it's really simple, and it should probably only take you one day, and it's just to keep gaining confidence in using Photoshop. So how do we do this? First, go to File, New, or Command M, and we are going to grab the default Photoshop size, 5 by 7 inches, because it's just easy that way, and it'll work out for us. We're going to create a new canvas. I like to sometimes just zoom out a little bit so I get a bearing for what I'm doing. Okay, so now I kind of know where it is in space. The way that we're going to create this pattern is by creating one little block of the pattern and then building it outwards. So what I'm going to do is use these rulers to measure out a specific block. If you don't see those on your computer, go to View, Rulers. Mine has a check next to it, which means it shows up. I'm now going to recheck it. All right, I have rulers. Now, if I click right on the top of this ruler and I hold down, I can drag down this little line that's called a guide. I'm going to drag it down to the 3.5 inch mark. See how on this side it says 3.5? And then I'm going to drag one down to the 1.5 inch mark. I now have two lines that are 2 inches apart from each other. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Drag it over to the 2 inch mark. Drag one over to the 4 inch mark. What have I done? I have now gridded out my canvas, my document, so that I have a 2 by 2 inch square right in the middle. I'm going to be making my pattern just in this square. And then I'm going to build it outwards. So I took my magnifying glass, got in a little bit closer so I can see what I'm doing. All right, everything that I'm going to make, I am going to put within this square, within the confines of these lines. If anything goes outside of the lines, then it's not going to work. First step, go over here to your layers panel. I have a background layer. I want to create a new layer. And actually, you can put in your background color on the background layer. I'm going to double click over here on the green and pick a color. Pick any color. Pick your favorite color. Pick the color you found in the Chromology book. Pick a color that you think you'd identify with, right? Maybe I'm going to do purples. Yeah, I'll do a dark purple as my background. Okay. So I want to fill in the entire canvas. So I'm going to go over here. This is the paint bucket tool. I'm going to hit Control click to right click. If you see this gradient tool, just change it down to the paint bucket tool. Click. All right, I have a background. Ooh, that's more of like a blue than a purple. Oh well, it'll be fine. So now first, I'm going to go back over here to the layer I created and create my first shape. This is so similar to Illustrator. It should not be anything new. Over here, I see this circle shape. It's called the ellipse tool. Maybe you have a different shape tool if I hit Control click. Just like in Illustrator, there's a rectangular tool, rounded rectangle, ellipse, polygon, line, custom shape. We don't want to go to the custom shape. We're going to stay in this realm. And I'm going to first start out by making some circles, okay? So if I just click and drag, oh, I can't see anything anyways. Maybe that's because I have this selected as a purple color. And select this as white. If I click and drag, see, I'm making ovals. Remember, if I hold down Shift, even after I've started dragging, I can then make it circles. You can use ovals if you want. I just want to use circles. All right, I'm going to click. I'm now going to go over to this top left corner. It's my selection tool. So I can take this and drag it. I'm going to drag it right over there to the corner. Perfect. There's one circle. New tab, new layer. You can also hit Command Shift N. Right, I just clicked that and now I have new layer. Yes. Now I'm going to make another circle. I want it to be a different color. I'm going to go over here. I'm not going to touch my hue panel at all because that'll make it not a monochromatic color scheme. I'm going to stay within this palette that I already have. If I stay up here, it's going to be really intense, highly saturated. Okay, if I go over here, it's going to be more dull, darker, lighter. You have a whole range with that color. Okay, now I'm going to make another circle, circle, circle. Right. I want you guys to think about using the entire area of this square. Okay, so don't let there be any negative space that isn't addressed over here and over here. That being said, don't overcrowd it. I'm going to switch it up a bit and do a rectangle. Change, let's make something dark. I'm holding down the shift to make a square. If you don't want to do that, I'm going to undo shift and now drag it out to make it some kind of line. Excellent. I'm actually going to make another line, same color, going this way. I made like a little X. Maybe I decide that I want this circle to be in front of this shape. What I do is I go over here, and this is why I've made them all in different layers. I can take, I believe it was this one, ellipse 2. You could even label your layers so that you know, but I like to use the eyeball tool right there to hide and bring it back so I can see. I'm going to drag it up to the top, and whatever layer is on top is closest to you. Whatever is on bottom is farthest away from you. So you can organize your layers that way. Let's go back and add some more circles. Oops. Okay. Let's go add a dark circle over here. Yeah, they didn't come dark. It didn't come out the color I wanted it to be. What can I do? If you actually go over and double click on your layer thumbnail right here, you can change the color and you can see how it changes actually right there. Which is kind of nice. Okay. New layer, new shape. Okay. No, that looks horrible. I want something dark. Okay. I feel like I still need something down here. Maybe I'm going to make a series of squares down there, and I'm going to have them be on the same layer because they're going to kind of exist together in space. I'm going to go shift, and then I'm going to click all. Nope, that didn't work. Trial and error. I just hit Command Z. That's what you hit to go back in time one step. If you want to go back in time more than one step, remember, hit Command Option Z. I want this to be a little higher. No. I'm not going to get into that right now. Those are fine. I'm okay with those. See, right there, came back to bite me already that I didn't make them in separate layers. Is it full enough? Probably not. I could probably add another kind of circle over here. Just some overlapping. All right, that's good enough for this example. Feel free to make this as intricate and developed or as simple as you'd like. I do think you should have at least 3 shapes in there. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 technically. See how I've used all the same colors, all the same values of one hue, which is that purple hue. Okay, all the lights and darks, including black and white, is fine. And now I'm going to take it and expand it into a pattern. So I'm going to go back, And if anyone has made a tessellation before, it works very similarly. I don't need these rules anymore. Actually, I'm going to keep them. Yeah. But just as a guide. Before I go to the next step, I want to make all of my layers into one layer. I am done organizing and rearranging everything, and now I just want this to act as one unit. So I'm going to start with the layer at the top, go down till I get to my first layer right here, hold down shift and click. That's I held down shift and clicked. So I select all of them, hold down control, click. It's basically the same as right clicking. I want to merge visible. So I'm going to merge all of those layers. Merge selected. Just want to rasterize those layers. Merge layers. Okay. So now this is just one layer. What happened was my visible layers included my background. I didn't want my background to be included, so I hit that rasterize layer, which took them out of being smart objects, made them regular objects, etc. That's a little bit more in depth than I want to go right now. But for you guys, if you can't, if it doesn't say merge layers, then rasterize, then merge, or you can make it so you can't see the background and then merge visible. So this is what I have. Now I have to make it into a pattern. So I'm going to take, making sure that this is selected, I'm going to take my rectangular marquee tool, and I am going to, actually I'm going to make this a half an inch, yeah, like a half an inch. And then I'm going to measure and select this top rectangular piece right here between all these. Got it? Okay. I'm going to Command X, which is the cut tool. You could also do edit, cut. What that does is it copies and deletes at the same time. So now if I hit Command V, it shows up again. I'm gonna, if I started at the top, I'm gonna bring it down to the bottom. See, this is why I left these in, so these guides in, so that they would all line up, okay? Now, I'm going to do the same thing on the right. Grab a ruler, bring it over so I have a half an inch. I'm gonna get rid of this so it's not confusing, okay? I'm going to measure and cut out this section. But first, this part right here is on a different layer than this part. So I want to merge these two layers into one layer. And if I hit Control click on the top layer, I can just merge down one layer. Now they're all one layer. Okay. Rectangular marquee tool. Select it all. Cut, paste, grab it, bring it over here, make sure it all lines up. That's not going to line up. There we go. It was lined up with the top. Remember that. Okay, beautiful. All right, now I'm going to merge this down again, merge down. And I'm going to go up and view rulers. Don't need those. It's not exactly what I needed. View guides. Don't need those. Clear guides. All right. I can handle this. You can handle this too. We have one piece, and now we need to work like a puzzle in order to fill in the piece in the rest of the spaces. And if you followed along and made sure everything lined up right, if you select all of this and hit Command C or copy, you could then hit Command V or paste. You now have a new layer. Go over, grab the selection tool. Notice that when I pasted, it created a new layer, which is my paste layer. I'm going to bring this. Notice those pink lines, which are guidelines to help me. And now I'm going to use my arrow keys on the keyboard to just kind of scoot it up a bit. Beautiful. Do it again. Repeat. Now I'm going to go up here. You just scoot it down a bit. And you can, if you need to, zoom in closer to see what you're working on. I like to zoom out to kind of see the whole picture. Okay, Command paste. All right. And this, everybody, is how you make a pattern. Sometimes it doesn't work out exactly correctly, but you know what? It's because we're human, and human error comes to play when you least expect it. This is how you make patterns for fabrics, right? Look around. Is there anyone in the class that's wearing a shirt, like a sweatshirt or a scarf maybe, that has a pattern on it, specifically a geometric pattern? This is how that was created. Okay. Now by doing this project, you are learning how to make shapes, which you do know, but you're transferring that skill from Illustrator to Photoshop. You are learning how to manipulate layers, learning how to use rulers, and how to crop, how to move. Okay, voila. What do you think? Now it's time for you to make your own. Remember, use only geometric shapes. Use a monochromatic color scheme. Raise your hand, call me over if you have any questions. And when you're ready to save, just File, Save As. If you are going to make more adjustments to this later, maybe class ended, I'm going to call this for Miss Knight pattern. You can do it, name it your own thing. I'm going to save it to the desktop for now and then drag it into my drive. If you want to make adjustments later, leave it as a Photoshop format. If you are completely finished and you're not going to work on it anymore, change it to a JPEG, okay? So it'll take up a lot less space and it will be easier for me to access it, okay, and look at it. And it'll be easier for you to put it onto the website as well. So I'm going to save, and then maximum is fine. Okay, good. It should show up. Yep, it just showed up right over here. And then you can drag this into your Google Drive. So this is the first project. There will be more to come. Good luck. And yeah, have happy Photoshopping.